We come across many people every day while travelling, the majority of which we don't interact with. When interaction does occur, it's negative. This we remember. On a daily basis in the local proximity of Eindhoven, pedestrians and cyclists cross each other's paths. These crossings are filled with daily conflicts. The negative journeys that people undertake have a large effect on their day. How do we improve the interaction between cyclists and pedestrians at crossings?
Do you think this sort of area without the lines and like the specific lanes, do you think it increases the interaction between cyclists and pedestrians?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And do you think that's a positive thing or a negative thing?
I think when it's very busy and when there are a lot of people on the streets, it's negative, but in this case, just positive.
Yeah.
Are there interactions on the roads? While conducting interviews and carrying out countless research, several insights were discovered throughout on how commuters behave and interact on the roads. Based on research, 8 out of 10 people do not follow signs at traffic junctions. This brings us to our first insight: rules.
Well, pedestrians and cyclists usually don't respect the signs or the lights.
Yeah, they're just like all Dutch people. Just skip the lights.
Follows the signs, right?
Yeah.
No.
And do you have any good or bad experiences of like cyclists and pedestrian, like the relationship? A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Like I said, I never really follow the signs, so I just bump into some pedestrians or.
When I'm at a traffic light and it's red and I have to stop, and I see there's not really a car around, and I see other people who do just cycle and cross the road, and I think, okay, well, then I'll just do it as well.
Yeah.
But if everyone stops, I'll stop as well.
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Why do they not follow these rules? This brings us to our second insight: trust.
Do you rely on other people to follow the rules? So
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I trust them.
You trust them?
Yeah.
So you're the one who does it and they have to follow
Yeah.
them? Okay.
Actually.
To our surprise, both cyclists and pedestrians trusted each other to be aware and respect each other's paths. Insight 3: respect and awareness.
Do you think they respect you as a cyclist?
I think they do. I think, but on the other hand, cyclists are also very known for just doing things randomly, just crossing and just going back, and I don't know what they all do, but
Yeah, especially when it's like rush hour or something. When it's really busy, then I watch out a little better.
Yeah. Do you think people, pedestrians are really aware and respect you as a cyclist? Or,
Yeah. At least that's what I do when I'm walking.
Yeah.
Do you ever turn into a pedestrian as a cyclist?
I think that I will do that when I'm in the city, because it's their area, and you're also not really allowed to cycle there, and because it's very crowded, it's so difficult to cycle. So then I sometimes think, well, it's just easier to walk.
Okay, and why do you do that? To respect the pedestrians, or just easier for you?
I think mainly it depends. When I'm in the city, it's also to respect them, and because I also know that it's not allowed to. But when I'm at a place that's very crowded and you can cycle, I do it for me because it's just inconvenient to cycle there.
Okay.
Well, you smile, some kind of recognition, or you give them a sign that they can move on, or that you are in a hurry, or things like that.
Why improve interaction between commuters?
For you, do you think it's important for there to be an interaction?
I think there is, because usually now when the pedestrian cross the road where they should cross the road, we cyclists stop, but we don't really acknowledge them, and vice versa, So, and I think it would be nice if someone just nodded at you. I mean, you don't have to have a whole conversation, so that would be weird. But I mean, that could really make someone's day, when someone's feeling down and you're like, hey, there's not really much human-to-human contact with strangers.
Yes, very important. Yeah. I can imagine that sometimes it might, if you have a bad day and you have some interaction in the street, a positive one.
Okay.
That could cheer you up a little bit, yeah.
Rules that people are forced to obey are sometimes less effective than rules that aren't, such as the social rule of getting off your bike to walk when it gets crowded. Hence, we conclude that social rules are more influential than rules introduced by the law. These social rules are not being made or written. They tend to develop naturally due to observing interactions, learning from mistakes, and improving behavior. How can we use the idea of social rules and entwine them with daily travel to create positive interactions?